Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from www.tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. And this is your monthly astrological reading for the month of April. This is for the Pisces. So let's see what is coming up for you. Now we're starting off with your finances, then moving into your romance cards for those of you that are single and coupled. And then I'm going to be moving into your spiritual cards. And I pulled some cards from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle card deck for that part of the reading, and throughout the rest of your reading I'll be using the New Age Tarot. Now your first cards representing your finances is the Page of Wands with the Hermit, and the Hermit is to me showing that you are in search of something more meaningful, in search of something different, in search of something new in terms of your work. So for some of you guys, you might be searching for a new job opportunity. This might be a time where you are putting out maybe applications, or maybe if you're not at the point of putting out applications, you might just be looking at vacancies. So it's almost saying that maybe you're just moving into a new direction. The Hermit could be if you're studying, it might be a time where you spend a lot of time studying, a lot of time by yourself in your books and stuff, maybe just preparing for maybe examinations or something like that. Because the Page of Wands can represent again somebody that is also a student, but then the Hermit represents somebody that is quite knowledgeable and quite wise. So it's saying that for some of you guys, you might be moving into something, but you do have a lot of experience. Maybe with your experience you want to find something that your experience can kind of help you in a new role, because like they say, you know, sometimes it's not necessarily that you have to have the direct experience for a certain position. Sometimes, you know, you can have transferable skills, you know, that can be used from one area of work into another. So it might be like that kind of thing that's going on here. I don't know why, like the Hermit to me doesn't usually come through as a teacher, but that's kind of what I'm just hearing kind of intuitively. Like some of you guys, you might either be teaching people, or you might even be like some kind of spiritual teacher that goes around teaching people, but maybe you do it in a way where you're not it's kind of like in an unorthodox kind of way. Like it might not be something that you necessarily get paid to do, but maybe you might actually want to change that into some kind of line of like paid work, maybe. Yeah, because the Page of Wands, it can represent more of like a business sense of things, whereas the Hermit isn't like a business oriented card at all. But it could mean that maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're searching for something more in a business sense. For some of you guys, it could be a case of money too. Maybe money isn't the best. Maybe you're searching for opportunity that means that, you know, money can kind of improve. Maybe before you wasn't interested in doing a certain line of work, or maybe you wasn't interested in maybe working for some kind of big business or something like that, but maybe now you might be considering it. Yeah, it could be that you're considering it. Maybe it's something that it wasn't really you. Maybe you were more into or maybe like when I look at these cards, it could be a case of maybe somebody is even unemployed right now and they're searching for a job as well, searching or looking to go back to school or something like that as well. And maybe they're just sort of looking around to see what they can get involved in, because maybe they're just ready to get into something different, whereas before they weren't really wanting to, but now they kind of are. So yeah, I kind of get this impression of again just searching out there, looking for something different, maybe something a bit more interesting to do, something that's more in line with a passion of yours, something that you have an interest in. Some of you guys, it might have been that maybe for quite some time you did work that you wasn't that interested in as well, and maybe now finally you've decided, maybe after years of working maybe for the same company or doing the same line of work that wasn't really that interesting to you, now you've decided to move into something that's better, that's sort of refreshing and new for you, which is really good too. So okay, those are the work and finances cards. So the cards for those of you that are in relationships is the Eight of Swords with the Page of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords is saying that it can be a feeling of feeling entrapped, feeling kind of stuck, feeling like things are not really going the way you would have liked them to be, or things just seem to be not really progressing the way you would like them. And but it's kind of saying, if you're in that space when it comes to a relationship, I feel like some of you guys might be really worried about a relationship that you're in. Maybe you're kind of feeling even a bit lonely in this relationship. Maybe you and your partner are either emotionally distant with one another, or maybe it's a case that you're actually physically not around each other so much, and so it might make you worried or concerned about this relationship. Again, maybe there's things in the relationship that aren't really that clear to you, and I feel like this is a message that came through last month for you as well, I think. But that's kind of what I'm feeling. And but the Page of Pentacles is saying that you can work this out with your partner. Things can be okay. It's almost like your partner isn't going to go anywhere, but it just can mean that things are just, maybe now things are just feeling uncertain for you, but it's almost like you can work those things out. Maybe a way of working those things out could be for you guys to just connect on a deeper level, to go out, maybe somewhere, do something that involves the two of you, maybe having a good time. This is the first thing I thought, because this is a Pentacles card. It might, the first thing that came to mind is like spending some money. So it could be a case of maybe like going out and literally spending some money and having a good time. Not to say that you have to spend a whole bunch of money. Like, don't do that. But because you don't always have to spend a whole bunch of money to have a good time as well. But it just might be a case of maybe that's something that could maybe work well for you guys. The Page of Pentacles might be also saying is that maybe there are some worries also surrounding money too for you guys, and maybe that's also what is stressing the relationship, or making the relationship kind of in a state of uncertainty as well. The interesting thing, I don't even know if I showed you guys the cards actually. That's what it looks like, because this deck is really different. But what's really interesting is this one says betting office, and it's the Page of Pentacles, which is so weird to me. But when I look at this card, it is kind of saying, if I am to look at just the way the card itself has been designed and the way the artist has decided to portray this card, it could also be saying that maybe some of you guys may literally be gambling your money, or maybe spending your money in ways that isn't maybe the best way to spend money. Maybe you're losing more money than maybe what you're bringing in too, and so that might be also putting a strain on the relationship. Like, maybe your partner might be saying to you, it looks like you're wasting a lot of money as well, and that might be causing your relationship issues too. But I feel like a lot of the stress might be what you're coming up with in your mind. Like, it might not, like, there might be issues in the relationship, but you might be more stressed about things than maybe maybe more than you should be, because it might be a situation where you think that more is going on than there actually is. But I think that some of the issues might be connected also with a money situation. So again, it's like, if you do choose to go out, it doesn't mean you have to spend a whole bunch of money, but maybe you guys can just do something where you're kind of bonding with one another. That also gives you the opportunity to kind of open up to each other and maybe talk things out more, so that things become kind of clearer for you in terms of this relationship. But again, do be careful when it comes to money and spending and stuff like that as well, because that might be a problem. So when it comes to those of you that are not in relationships but are single, it's the Eight of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. It's interesting because the Eight of Pentacles has shown up quite a few times for quite a few signs. And again, it's like, to me, the Eight of Pentacles also represents sort of doing a relationship over, working to form a relationship with somebody else again. And with the Page of Wands, this might be the person that you are forming a relationship with. Maybe there's somebody that is a fire sign that you might be wanting to reconnect with, be back with this person. but again, it's sort of that when the Eight of Wands shows up, it shows that, to me, like, to make the relationship work is going to take an effort on both of your parts to kind of make the relationship better than what it was in the past. So if you're wanting to reconnect with somebody that is an a fire sign, is saying that you guys might have to work on this relationship to really form it again. And but it's saying that I think that what you want with this person is something that is stable and long lasting. And obviously if you want that, then it takes a commitment on both of your parts, like to really come together and to really form that bond with each other. um Being that it's a queen, it's kind of saying that it's, to me, the queen is more of a sort of a passive energy than the knight is. So I kind of feel like, again, like there is something between the two of you guys. It could turn into something that is long term, but it's like, again, you have to sort of take time with things to let it kind of grow and develop also. And again, is the Eight of Pentacles can represent a learning process as well. So it's sort of about learning from your past experiences to make things better in the future as well. So those are those cards. Eight of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands. So the next card, the spiritual cards, is recovery, which is connected to the crown chakra, and abundance, which is connected to the solar plexus. So again, this is recovery of abundance, recovery of money, finances, and gains. So what I'm seeing here is that that's what you're going to be focused on April. And the thing that I like with this recovery is that when you look at this card, you see a key here. And then when you look at this card, you see the chest with the money inside. But the thing is with this chest with the money inside is that you can see that there's two different people here. Now this person has just let their coin drop down the gutter, and this girl was smart enough to go and get herself a little string and to attach something to the end in order to pull that coin out of the gutter. So again, to me, I'm feeling like this card is saying about, it's talking about wasting money. It's talking about wasting money, like, again, just throwing money away or just losing money. And so it's saying you have to be really smart, really clever with your spending, really making sure that you save your pennies. It's almost saying, like, really, you can go through a period of abundance. Things can become better for you in terms of your finances, but it's all coming down to the way you view money and the approach that you take when it comes to your finances and your money. Again, like, as you can see here, it's two completely different scenarios. And again, there can be money worries, money stress. And as you can see, it's like he's resorted to drinking because he's stressed out. So it's saying, that's kind of what can happen when you do feel stressed and when you are worried. Not only do you're concerned about your money, but then you can actually resort to using substances to try and make yourself feel better, which is, you have to be careful with that, Pisces, because Pisceans, in from what I understand, like, you can lean towards that. You can lean towards using substances to kind of block things out. And I think that can actually be something that water signs kind of actually be, like, susceptible to, because you guys are so sensitive, and especially because you're a Piscean, you're very psychic, you're very in tune in that way. So sometimes, you're more likely to use substances to kind of block out the psychic ability, or to kind of sort of to numb the sensitivity that you guys have. And so I think when you're under stress, you're more likely to do that. So it's kind of saying, be careful with that, be careful with um substances too, and be careful also when it comes to your money and finances. And again, if you have a gambling thing going on, especially with that page card coming up, be very careful. Like, don't do it. Like, don't, like, this is a time I feel like you have to almost, like, assess how you spend your money, where your money goes, and you have to assess maybe negative patterns or negative associations that you might have with money. It's like the abundance is there, you have what you need, but it's about using it in a sensible way. And it's saying that you may be wanting to recover money, but again, it's like the same way this is the key and this is the chest. It's saying you have to in order for you to unlock the key, it's like you have to know what, how to do that. You have to know that the key is almost like the secret. It's the cure. It's the it's telling you what it is that you need to do. So it's not a literal key. It's saying that you need to know what you need to do to unlock that money. So again, if it means that, do you know what, I have to change the way I spend, I have to change the way, maybe again, you're a sign that's very generous, maybe I'm just giving too much money away, maybe I'm just spending money on things that just are not making me money, and I'm just losing a whole bunch of money. So it's saying, it's like, once you can figure out in your mind where it is that your money is going that isn't helpful to you, that will be the key that unlocks even more abundance for you. And then you have more resources at hand to support you, and then there's just less worry and there's just less stress. So okay, I'll see you guys. Bye.